Hello, my name is Amina and I'm your decision making specialist. What does being creative mean to you? A lot of times people believe that it means somebody that draws or paints or writes or sings or acts. It's a narrow boundary of what creativity means. And I'm offering today that you take a minute or two and kind of look around inside and out and realize that even if you participate in one of those other areas called creativity, you have been creative this whole COVID era and still are. Just imagine, you don't have to go back and just dig a little hole. Just imagine what it was like the beginning of March when we were in shelter, when we first found out that COVID was invading our lives to such an extent that we had to shift them instantly from one day to the next. Closed down. Everything shifted around. At first, there was just mass confusion, raising my hands about how to do it, what to do, how do we operate in the middle of this, the grieving we went through, sometimes a lot of frustration, anger, resentment that we had to. What was the deal? This thing was invisible. Did it even exist? All of these different things. And then we would hear stories. Do we believe them or don't we? In the middle of all of that, we were told distance, at least 6 feet, wash hands, front, back, underneath, everywhere, to wear a mask when we went with other people, when we were out in public, only go shopping if we had to for food and for essentials. All of these changes just instantly. So whether we called it being creative or we called it what we had to or what we should do or what we must do, it's still creative. The way and how and when you did all of those new routines and figured out, well, how do I work from home? What happens? My job doesn't exist anymore. The kids are home all the time. My husband and I are home all the time. The whole family's here all the time. And the neighbors aren't. The relatives aren't. The restaurants are closed. And now we're cooking every meal, even if we enjoy cooking. We're doing so many things. And if you're a parent, you're doing even more. You're not only being a parent, you're being a teacher, you're being an educator, you're being a friend, you're making decisions. All of that takes creativity. Otherwise, you would just have walked in your front door, closed it, and sit down, been in a puddle this whole time, and you weren't. So take a moment, if you will, and congratulate yourself on how creative you have been in managing this for almost a year now. Pretty good. All right. Celebrate yourself and your family and your kids that you've not only survived, you're here to do it another day, even if it isn't always fun, even if it just is not what you want to do. even though the future thinks, oh my gosh, is it always going to be like this? And the past remembers when it was different. All of those conditions, and you have still been creative because you're here and you're alive. Terrific. Come back. I will be here, and I hope you will have celebrated your creativity along the way. All right, bye for now.